You guys have most likely heard that on November 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. Few hours after the incident, exactly in this room, a weapon was found. In this situation, they arrested someone by the name of Lee Harvey Oswald, and they said it was him that did it. Since the first second Oswald was arrested, he would deny the allegations. When they raided his apartment, they found these two pictures that had the same weapon in his hands. When they showed the picture to Oswald, he said these are all lies and you guys edited them. As we know, back then, there was no Photoshop that could edit photos. But either way, Oswald would say that you guys made these photos up. And this was the point people wouldn't believe he did it. And it became more suspicious when the next day, a person by the name of Jack Ruby killed Lee Harvey Oswald. And it's interesting that his excuse was, he killed my favorite president. It's good to know that Jack Ruby, 4 years after he did this, he got executed. Since that day, the conspiracy theories came flowing, and the newspaper would bring it up too. And the people would say, you guys are hiding the truth. The government answered to nobody, but after 10 months, they announced that we did all the investigation, and we came to a conclusion that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, and he was the only one responsible for killing JFK. If we want to say all the conspiracy theories, we're gonna be here until tomorrow. Some say it was the KGB. Some say it was the CIA. Some say it was the Mafia. Some even said it was the Vice President, Lyndon B. Johnson. After this, the photos of Oswald made a conspiracy itself. In some pictures, the gun has a scope, and some of them they don't. It's good to know that it's the 1960s, and you can't edit photos like today. A new conspiracy would come out from this photo every day. Like they would say, why does his shadow at the bottom look like that? And it doesn't match the shadow on his face. They say this was Oswald's head that was edited on to some random body. When you compare it to the mugshot, you see that his chin in the older photo is wider than the actual chin. The American forensic team studied this picture for more than 10 years, and their goal was to figure out if this photo was real or not. And another question was, how was one person able to kill the United States president? The forensic team actually would go to the same spot to take the photo to match them, and they could check the shadows. This is one of the workers, and he's taken a picture at the same time, and that's about March, around the same time, with the same weapon as well. The picture exactly matched the shadows of Oswald's photo. Either way, nobody paid attention to these. There was something that didn't want people to believe it. To research this, they did everything. They even tried it on modern computers. Like they took this photo and made it 3D. Since they had Oswald's height and weight, they could exactly match the 3D object to him. The 3D object they made exactly matched the photo. And the last thing they needed is Seth, and that's Oswald's wife. And she said she took the photo. But in this case, nothing has stopped, and that's the people, and they believe the president died in a different way by different people, and they still haven't told us the truth. It's good to know that in the year 2009, they did a survey in the city of Los Angeles. 76% of the people said that the story of JFK's assassination is not real, and they are lying to us. It's good to know that in the survey they did in 2003, 6 years before the other one, 70% would say they're lying to us. So the people that don't believe this story is rising day by day. So why would they even kill this president? There is a lot of theories about this as well. One of the most famous stories is that when JFK became president, he made his brother Robert F. Kennedy the Attorney General of the United States. Robert Kennedy was one of the biggest enemies to the New York Mafia, and that's before JFK became president. When JFK became president, he made his brother Attorney General, and he gave him the green light to go get him. Since 1961, when Robert F. Kennedy became Attorney General, the amount of arrests that happened in the organized crime department went up 350%. The amount of arrests that was happening was unbelievable. Robert even told the FBI to take it more seriously. And also the IRS. Robert F. Kennedy told the IRS to watch the deals that are happening between closed doors. But this was the president's brother. Why did they kill him? Because he was the one that appointed him, and he was his biggest supporter. And you could say he was making the mafia's life a lot harder. This story about Robert F. Kennedy and what he did is not a conspiracy. It actually all happened. But the conspiracy theory is formed when they say the mafia killed JFK and they killed Robert F. Kennedy 5 years later in Los Angeles. Robert was 42 years old when he was killed. There's a story by the name of Kennedy Curse. This story was created because a lot of Kennedy family members would die mysteriously. Like JFK's bigger brother, Joseph P. Kennedy, died in a plane accident in World War II. You guys all know JFK. Robert is his brother and he died 5 years after. Robert Kennedy's son, meaning David Kennedy, and they got news that he overdosed on cocaine and died. Robert's other son, meaning Michael Kennedy, goes to Colorado and dies in a skiing accident. JFK's son, meaning John F. Kennedy Jr., crashes with his plane. Robert Kennedy's wife, meaning Mary Kennedy, committed suicide. The last curse in the Kennedy family happened in 2020, and that's Robert Kennedy's grandson, Maeve Kennedy, got lost with her 8-year-old son, and they still haven't found them. And it's extremely weird that all this happened to one family. What do you guys think? Do you think a lot of people want this family dead, or it was all just a coincidence?